Welcome back to another video. Today it is F1 Esports round 3, my second race in the series here in Austria. Historically been a bit of a mid-track for me, but yeah, I felt quite good coming into this. Felt pace was good. If you're wondering what I'm actually doing here on the exits, because my wheel had no force feedback, my pedals completely weren't calibrated. So here's me on my outlap trying to calibrate my pedals again. So that's far from ideal. Obviously, I think everyone knows there was quite a few tech issues, but yeah, I won't go into too much detail because I think I've already done that. I will go into it a bit more in the Qatar video, especially. So yeah, by now I think I've got the pedals just where I want them on this outlap, and it's now just about preparing. A little bit behind on the lap, starting to prepare my tyres, which I wasn't too pleased about, but is what it is. But yeah, into this round, pace pretty good. I can say it now. I had a 6.3 PB, I think, and I believe the fastest PB going into this race was maybe a 6.1, something like that. Someone may have hooked up a 5, but yeah, so pace really good. I noticed afterwards there was a little bit more to be gained in the setup, just because we were especially quick in the middle sector compared to everyone else. Was I feel like a little bit quicker than me. I don't know about Yano, but a little bit quicker than me in the first and last. So yeah, that's what it is. Still a quick setup, still nice one. Balance felt good. And yeah, very on the front end, well, as much as you can be before dying. You see there, one in 55 diff through a high-speed corner, so it just shows the front end was looking pointy, but obviously that's what I like, that's what I prefer to run. This first lap though, obviously everyone's going in with, people need to realise, I've seen a lot of people saying that they're surprised how the pole times aren't as quick or stuff like this. If you were in that moment, you would understand. It is very difficult, because we're having about 10 minutes on the track, complete practice beforehand, after not driving the game or the track for the last 3 days. So, and plus we're on a completely different environment, completely different PC. Screen freezing, mini screen freezing for everyone. So yeah, it's very. If you're watching this and you're thinking, "Oh, the times aren't that good," like, just realise that there is a big change from your home setup and not driving the track for like 3 days. But now, already under pressure in Q1 here. Through turn 1, nicely on the power, nearly going to be about 800ths up as we head into the hairpin. Pretty good turn 1. Can be fairly chuffed with that. Into the hairpin now. Nice rotation. Oh, a little bit too much rotation there. But again, we get a good exit, and even if we just hold a 10.5, this should comfortably see us through into Q2. Into this right. Very nice. Once again, another couple hundredths gained. It's been a pretty solid lap so far. Nothing to write home about, but just a solid, big snap of oversteer there. Probably a few hundredths gone there. Missing the apex slightly, but ultimately this has been a pretty clean lap. Nothing again to write home about, but it's just a nice, solid, clean lap through the final corner now. Not really on the limit, but good enough. Once again, and we go up to line 3.0, sticks us P3. And that will safely see us through into Q2. See that in the end. P3 and 4 for me and Yano. Nearly identical times. You go slightly quicker than us. But yeah, solid start. Around half a tenth off P1, which is obviously half a tenth here is a lot more than, for instance, Spa or something like that. But yeah, it's a difficult track, but no, it's a really easy track, but difficult because you're so on the limit at every single point in the lap that it makes it hard almost, because you need to nail everything because you know everyone else is. But anyway, another pressure lap here. We have to nail this one to get through to Q3. Not a very good turn one whatsoever, just floating on the rear end, the rear axle a little bit too much from what I like. 9 to actually gone slower through the first than our Q1 lap. Through the hairpin, again not too good, just not enough rotation that time. As we head into the second hairpin, 8th gear down to 3rd, missing the apex slightly, a big snap of oversteer on exit. So this has been an absolute disastrous lap so far. 700ths, nearly 800ths down as we head into the middle sector. Now I was thinking at this point, just got to absolutely send it, otherwise we ain't going to get through. Nailing the apex on that one as we head up into the final corner. This is going to be an absolute miracle if we want to get through to Q3. Send it in, maximum commitment right to the outside. Throw it into the last corner, right up to the outside line. Once again, 200ths improvement, and we just about make it through. 9th place, so very, very, very scruffy lap, but ultimately we really did clutch up in those last 2 corners, and it was enough to see us through into Q3. And after that, that was quite unnecessarily close, but yeah, not ideal. And as we actually get track limits on our first lap, 3.0. I wasn't too worried, that would put us last anyway, but ultimately obviously it's nice to have a lap up there. But now this is the one that matters. This is the one that, obviously, like I say every time, the only one that actually matters in quali. So here we go then, through turn 1, again floating on the rear, big snap of oversteer, so it's not a good start to the lap whatsoever. Just that we managed to carry decent speed luckily, but yeah, it's just not a great turn 1. Through the hairpin now, missing the apex slightly. Yeah, just not good at all. We're still improving a little bit, so we've just got to absolutely send it in this last part of the lap into the right hander. That was good, that was nicely on the limit. And as we head now into the proper double left-handers, sending it in nicely on the limit there. 44.0 into the last, not great, and then that was good also. So yeah, pretty mid-lap, I can't lie, very, yeah, completely bottom out on the curb through the final corner pretty good, but yeah, damage is done already. 2.9 sticks us up in 7th, and yeah, a bit frustrating because I knew I should be up there fighting for pole in that one, and we just did not hook the lap up whatsoever. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, still 5 for the win from 7th. So yeah, here we go then, into the race. We're going to go for actually a medium hard, because there's going to be rain in the end. I didn't think the hards would be able to get to the rain, so medium hard it is, and it's lights out and away we go here in Austria. A very bad start, I can't lie. We nearly got overtaken by Brendan on the hards. We're going to take the outside line, just carry more speeds, and we're safe from Brendan in behind, making ourselves a little bit of a gap. So again, just coming off the battery, don't want to get too close and someone backs up into us and we lose our front wing. So we're taking it very, very cautiously, because obviously I'm not going to send it in there and risk breaking my front wing. And we hold position. So yeah, not too bad. We'll take that as a little, nearly tapping the back elongate there, just outbroke myself a little bit. And into the middle sector for the first time then. You see, yeah, the leader's right there, so yeah, we're still in this, by no means out. So yeah, pretty good start. Obviously it's nice to move forwards at the start, but ultimately it's a bit harder to do when you're at the front of the field, and or near the front of the field, and everyone's obviously being a bit more sensible. Less cars around to gain an advantage on, basically. But now onto that 4, you see Nico slightly misses the corner there, and we sense there's an opportunity. We're going to put the battery on, not fully, just make him think about something, and we're going to send it to the inside, are we? Yes, we are. Nico gives us just enough room, and yeah, it wasn't a great idea to go for that. I thought I could get a bit more at the inside, but yeah, I just basically wanted to just make Nico think about something, just yeah, keep him on his toes, basically. As he's actually going side by side with Jed now, he's actually started on the hards, very good qualifier from him. Through the middle sector, oh, big snap of overstiff for Nico there as he hits the side pod of Jed. But yeah, again, nothing we can really do. Yeah, it's just pretty boring at this point. I bet it looks quite exciting on the broadcast because obviously there's a few battles you can look at, but usually this is quite what top tier races, just everyone following each other because they're so close on pace. There's nothing we can do about it. Everyone's just very, very talented. So up ahead now, you see there is starting to be some battling, and that there is why I don't really like following too close to the car ahead. You see Nico, he didn't stop really, but he stopped quite sharply on the apex, and obviously that gives you, if I was right up behind him, it would either give me a really bad run or I would just slap the back of him and get some wing damage. So yeah, by this point, when I know everyone's all talented enough not to be making mistakes in a train, just hang back a little bit just to be safe, basically. Just not wanting to risk anything. And now we're going to be thinking of a pit stop, I believe, here. And that is the controversy. Yeah, I was thinking about potential pit stop at this point anyway, but the VSC, because of Lucas disconnecting, gave us a free pit stop basically, and now we're right in the running for the lead. Do I agree with this? No. It's kind of screwed a few people over a little bit. Well, I say a little bit, quite a lot. And plus, when Lucas even said himself, when he disconnected, his race was already over. So it ended up getting changed. So there's no VSC anymore. But yeah, ultimately, I don't really think it should have been there in the first place. If you're gonna have safety cars, have full safety cars. Don't stick in a VSC where then your race is completely ruined. So yeah, bit unfortunate, but ultimately that's promoted us up into a net P2, I believe, at the moment. On the hards though, which I was quite wary about, because obviously we had to go on to hards and the guys behind actually went on to mediums, the quicker, softer tyre. So we now have to be managing this absolutely perfectly to keep these guys behind, but also manage the gap to Barry. You see, it's the grip and purchase they have is just a lot better than us at the moment, and I wanted to just go for this basically straight away up the inside, just so Brendan isn't attacking me and he's attacking Barry through the middle sector basically. So we're going to stick on the battery a little bit more, down to 70%, which I don't mind. I knew they weren't going to send this because 3 wide into there when I'm the car ahead is a bit nutty, if I say myself. But yeah, who knows. And now we're leading the race in the net lead. Which, yeah, I was thinking, right, this is a good position. But I also had in the back of my head, when the rain comes, being on the harder tyre is obviously not good. You want to be on the softer, stickier rubber for the rain, just because it's less grip, obviously. But yeah, not really much to say at the moment. Kind of just basically trying to help Barry a little bit, because obviously Althea, and I did have in the back of my head as well, look at on the map. This is interesting actually. Completely horrible positioning from me. That was terrible. that honestly, if you want to learn some driving, don't look at that. That was completely awful. Awful positioning, awful bit of driving, and now we're basically just trying to recover back. Which I didn't care too much about being third. I was more cared about looking at the map and ULAS, which is what we're going to see here. So that awful positioning from me basically stuck me in third in the train, and that's a very, very crucial part to this race, because look ahead, Alfie Butcher's teammate, ULAS Zildrim, has let Alfie go, and now he's just going to be holding us up. As you can see here, Alfie's in the lead now, ULAS right behind on the old hards. He is going to absolutely burn his battery to make sure he keeps his position ahead of Barry, as he does nicely there. Barry just slightly touched the back of him, and now look at that, Alfie 8 to 9 tenths ahead already after one corner. ULAS defending the middle of the road, very, very, very the same as what we did in Japan last year. And look at Alfie, he's absolutely romping off into the distance. And by this point I'm thinking, right, it's not race over yet, we just have to be a bit bold here and just do something. You see, Alfie's gone pretty much. And now by this point I saw Barry not on the battery, so I was like, right, I'm not waiting around here. I cannot wait behind ULAS for another straight. So here we make the move right around the outside of Barry. Very nice move there. Straight back on the battery once again, and now we need to get the position onto ULAS. Around the outside. Alfie 2.4 up ahead into the braking zone. Massive slide, but we get the position and up into P2 now. Only I think that's 2.5 behind Alfie, and by this point we actually started gaining. So I was thinking, right, this is not over whatsoever. We are in a prime position to close this gap down. Pace was very strong and win this race, but ultimately I don't think the two behind wanted that. As we go into this corner, good battling, but just ruining our races completely. I was trying to push the pace along, but ultimately these guys didn't want it. As we go into this hairpin, see, Alfie's still not too far ahead, but now Brendan's still going for it. As we hang it around the outside, and this is really frustrating me at this point, because I want to win this race. I want to get the maximum points. I want to push the pace along as much as I can, but it's just not really getting let to do that because of all the battling behind. I was feeling really confident, really comfortable in the car, so yeah, it's really frustrating. As we're actually going to stay on board here, I believe, as I wanted Barry to work with me, but obviously it was difficult through the first corner. Who's that coming out of beds? I don't know, but basically, see here, Barry overtakes us in the... No, he doesn't. I was... Yeah, by this point I was getting really frustrated. I wanted Barry to overtake me, and we get hit. Yeah. Not ideal, again. So now we're having to use battery unnecessarily because we got hit, and by this point I was actually fuming. So I let Ismail around the outside to see if we can work with him a little bit better than Barry. And this, in the end, I don't know if it was a good decision or not, but by this point, yeah, Alfie's gone. Those 2 laps completely ruined it for us. We started gaining, felt good, and then yeah, it just went downhill with all the battling. So yeah, it is what it is. Again, you see it, I'm trying to work with Ishmael here just to push the pace along once again. You see it, easy move into there. Oh god, that's not ideal. But again, like me and Ishmael here are trying to push the pace along to catch Alfie. 4.1 is the gap. So yeah, I'm thinking, right, we're gonna have to gain about 2-3 tenths a lap if we want to catch him on the last lap. That's probably not going to happen, but I also knew his tyres were going to be very dead at the end. With the rain as well, it could potentially favour us on the hards again. So we'll have to wait and see. But you see Ishmael once again taking over from us, and we're just gonna save our battery on this lap, let him push on, push the pace, and just sit behind. But by this point, you see, I don't know what the gap is to Alfie. I kind of just gave up on that, and I was like, right, it's a fight for second. Alfie's won. We just got to get on with it and try get the maximum points we can. You see there again, overtaking Ishmael, starting to recoup the battery a little bit better. And again, Ishmael back around the outside using the DRS. We let him go. And this is because Thomas is on a bit fresher tyres, so we were very wary of him. Just not really wanting to get involved with Thomas at all. Again, Ishmael letting us go. And I was basically just trying to plan where I'm going to be come the last couple laps, is basically my thought process in here. Yeah, then if we position ourselves well, then we're going to have a shot to run for second, which obviously is pretty good. From 7th, albeit with the VSC, but we won't talk about it. Lap 34 now, 100% of our battery has been recouped. And now here comes Thomas pushing Ishmael, and now we are on the outside. We're going to brake late, hold the outside, try and get the run out the corner as we do. But then we just touched the outside wheel of Thomas and we didn't get DRS. So we are on the outside now with no DRS, and we just stuck ourselves in a completely compromising situation. With the rain coming down, we're going to have less grip than Thomas especially. I'm not sure, I think Ishmael maybe had one lap newer than us. You see, we're trying to make a desperate attempt to get around the outside of him, but just no grip out there. And yeah, by this point I'm really frustrated because I know I've completely messed this up. Very rare mess up from me, I think. I don't really usually mess these sort of racecrafty things up, but yeah, just a complete misjudgment from me. And now we just got to fight as much as we can to get those positions back. But you see on the halo there, the rain is falling. There's our second warning, and Thomas is starting to now break the toe, and we do have a lot of battery, but ultimately just not the grip that the other two have. So yeah, just losing the car completely, and yeah, big mistake there. That was completely terrible. Our tyre indicator has now come on as we head on to the last lap. Starting to catch Alfie, but obviously he's starting to take it easy. He's still got a comfortable gap. He will win this race. And now what I'm basically hoping for is keep the ERS. Hopefully they have a really bad run through here, and then we can pounce onto the straight. You see, trying to get us close, but these two just have such better traction than us. I'm not sure how much later they both pitted, but I believe they do have a bit better tyres than us. I might be wrong, but slight touch on the rear of Ishmael there. See, we're just really trying to push the car to its absolute limits to just get close to them, but we're just overcooking it all the time. You see here, just not being able to get close, not being able to get on the power like the other two are. And through the final sector for the final time, you see ERS on just struggling so much for traction. And by this point, I'm thinking, right, well, please crash, otherwise it's going to be 4th. As they do end up going side by side. We have a bit more battery than both of them, but the line is right there. If we had one more lap, we would have sailed right past both of them. But yeah, it's 7th to 4th. It's okay. But with the VSC, where else would I have finished? I don't know. But yeah, I feel like that should have been second. I feel like I should have. If I'd have judged that properly, I would have been in the fight for second or third at least. So yeah, a bit frustrating. A rare racecraft issue that costed me the chance on that, but ultimately I think I drove a 98% perfect race, trying to push the pace on to catch Alfie, but no one else was really having it. So it is what it is. 2 top 5s in the opening 2 rounds of that I've done, so can't be too disheartened. And yeah, on to the next ones, which I believe is USA, Kota, and Zandvoort, which obviously Zandvoort's a very good one for me. Kota will be done on very low practice, but yeah, it is what it is. We'll do our best. But yeah, appreciate everyone watching once again, and see you in the next one. Cheers.